I drove my first ever DoorDash Dasher shift in, yes, 2.5 years. This is after accumulating almost 1,700 deliveries on the platform as a Dasher. And after this recent shift, there's some pretty big things that I found out, some surprises that you absolutely need to know before your next shift. So food delivery, it seems pretty straightforward, and the number one market share leader by far, DoorDash, seems to have a good amount of orders, at least in most medium and larger marketplaces. Now here in Pittsburgh, I accumulated most of those deliveries in San Diego, California. The volume of orders that I received was pretty abysmal. You can watch that shift after this, but the volume of orders just wasn't there. I was quite surprised on a Thursday. You would think Wednesday is kind of a swing day in the week, but Thursday it should certainly start to pick up, and during the dinner rush as well. Caveat, I understand it's one day in one marketplace. That's probably why in part you want to subscribe, so I can keep you in the know here with these apps. All I do here is help you make money in different side hustles. But number two, speaking of peak pay, that $1 peak pay, comment down below. What is an average, let's say, weekend day, peak pay? Is it $1, $2, $4 maybe? But I was used to $2, $3, $4 in San Diego, and I tracked peak pay as well. While I wasn't driving, I was still tracking peak pay here in Pittsburgh, and we got $2 to $3 in Q1 to Q2 of this year. So we're seeing, that was a surprise to me, a tapering of this peak pay. But honestly, is it a surprise? We've seen Uber Eats, at least here in Pittsburgh, and both companies reporting on less expenses for driver pay and incentives and consequently bonus pay. Is it really a surprise that now in Q3, going into Q4, we are seeing that tapering? Well, here's a surprise for number three that I guarantee is going to be a surprise for someone. If you're a Dasher, and even if you've dashed for a bit, you might not know this if you're just doing this by yourself, but did you know different Dashers in your marketplace, in the same marketplace, are seeing different peak pay? That's a per delivery bonus. Yeah, there's challenges, and of course you get tips, but peak pay is the main thing, in my opinion, that's going to allow you to make $20+ an hour. Our channel goal is $25 an hour. But that's one thing for me to say that. Let me show you proof. So my twin brother, Matt, also activated as a Dasher here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So actually just today, at the time of filming this video, we were visiting my parents. So we're in exactly the same spots, the same place at the same time. And I said, hey, while we're here, show me your peak pay. Take a look. And we saw for downtown Pittsburgh, we cited this on a Sunday at 7 p.m. Our downtown Pittsburgh showed the same peak pay. Okay, so we're showing the same peak pay here, but that is not all. Look at this. Now we both had this Sunday, the 5:30 slot, both at $1 peak pay. And we both had the Sunday, the 11:30 p.m. time slot, but mine had $1 peak pay and Matt's had $2 peak pay. Now he's also seen Monday's peak pay here, 2 slots here for $1.50 and $1 respectively. I don't see anything for Monday. Now, maybe I'll see it at a point, but there's a very real chance that I won't even get peak pay for Monday. Now, let's flip it here. Look at the South Pittsburgh market segment, because your overall marketplace is broken up into smaller segments. Now, we're showing the 9:30, the 11:30, and the 9:30 p.m. on Monday time slots here, but he's getting $2 peak pay on the first 2 segments, and we're matching on the $1 peak pay on the 9:30 Monday segment. But then I'm showing this time a 5:30 p.m. segment and actually a 40-minute overlap, the second segment starting at 6:50 on the Sunday. So one more here for comparison. So we're both showing in the Fox Chapel market segment this time. So the 5:30 p.m. segment, the 7:30 p.m. segment, both this time at $1 for the peak pay there, And now he's showing in that respective market segment, the Monday, the 3:30 p.m. segment at $1 peak pay. That is not just coincidental. That's not just me saying, hey, oh, look at this. We happen to have different peak pay. The company, DoorDash themselves, says this will actually happen. So on their support page, asking, how do I qualify for peak pay? The answer says, peak pay is available to select Dashers at select times of the day. Literally what we saw with Matt and I. And another surprise is you haven't visited yourdrivermike.com. Come on, I gotta mention it. Courses, resources, and our brand new side hustle starter guide, now just updated, even though we just launched it, updated again with 50 plus verified side hustles. Now, the thing about that is you can compare and contrast side hustles. And listen, even if you already have a side hustle, you need to pick up a copy of that because these 100%, these platforms change. I've had it over the years, different marketplaces, and you don't want to, frankly, waste your time doing a side hustle when this side hustle over here might be a better fit for you. Also, since I'm talking about yourdrivermike.com, in about 7 to 10 days or so, I'm launching free resources as well. I want you to have that. Now, stay in the know there. So at the bottom of the website, sign up for our newsletter. We're launching a new twice a week newsletter. So I'll announce to you directly when those free resources launch. You know what else is a genuine surprise? When I saw it, I'm thinking, nah, I was skeptical. There's no way I'm going to use this. And it was actually better than the original option. That is the in-app Google Maps navigation. I always use Google Maps, and if Waze works for you or something else, that's fine. But I kind of equated it to Amazon Flex because they have an in-app navigation. It's okay, but I trust Google Maps more. So this is Maps integrated, and I actually liked it. It was super seamless. So I'm in app with Google Maps, and it just says swipe up for more information because I didn't want to have to juggle back screens, different apps on your phone to see the delivery address. So now, because it's integrated, it's all there. I just up swipe and there's my address info. Surprise takeaway number 5. And just some context here. DoorDash was treating my account as a new Dasher. I still had all the stats in there, but they're treating it as a new Dasher. So for the first week, they gave me priority access. Now, here's the thing. I've researched this for you since it came out. We've never really, I stand corrected, once they said, statistically, what would that mean? And they probably for literally a week or two said these high paying orders were $2 a mile or more. And then they just got rid of that verbiage there. I was surprised at the actual numbers because I got 4 high paying orders in that one shift and what they actually calculated to for the dollars to mile ratio. So one order was $2.75. This order was $2.06. This order, $2.36. And this order, $2.33. That averaged out to $2.23 per mile. And I was surprised how good that was. That's actually pretty good. If you can average, our channel goal is $1.75, right? Because there's a general operating cost of your vehicle. That's your standard operating deduction, 65.5 cents for business miles in 2023. So we want a margin there from the general operating cost to your cash flow and have some actual net profit margin there. So we aim for $1.75. And I always say, if you can get obviously even higher, $2 to $3, that's exceptional. So if we're averaging $2.23 here per mile, then that's pretty good. But of course, to maintain that, the priority access, the original priority access, we're not talking about the tiered Dasher rewards program, which is still technically in a beta, but the original priority access, you have to get 50% at least acceptance rates. So there, the numbers really have to make sense if statistically it actually makes sense to accept at least 50% of orders.